Participants in our trainings, they very often ask, what's the difference between strategies, tactics and actions? How do I distinguish between them? Well, our partner Susan explains how.
Strategy made simple. We will show you how to easily distinguish between objectives and goals and between strategy, tactics and actions. We start with the situation analysis to determine where we are. This enables us to identify our key issues, or in other words, our key challenges or possibilities. Let's use Sunny's weight loss challenge to illustrate this. The key issue here is that Sunny is overweight. When we know where we are, we can ask, where do we want to be? Having identified the key issue, Sunny can now set an objective for his future wished position, which is to be slim. But to know if he has reached his objective, he needs to quantify it by setting goals. The best way to do this is to make them SMART. That means they need to be specific, measurable, agreed, realistic, and timed. The next question is, how will Sunny get there? Okay, so Sunny knows where he is and where he wants to be. Now it's time to select the strategy or strategies that are best suited to reach his goal. When selecting the best strategy, Sunny must always keep in mind the objective, to lose 10 kilograms. Sunny has chosen to evaluate 4 alternative strategies. The first option is to have medical weight loss treatment, but he's worried about undesired side effects. The second is a diet to make him lose weight, but he's not prepared to make any sacrifices in his current eating habits, being a true foodie. Thirdly, he considers a strategy involving surgery or liposuction, but decides that this is too drastic for losing just 10 kilos. Finally, he decides that burning calories through physical activity is the best strategy, and one that fits well with his values. However, selecting the strategy still doesn't tell us what he's going to do. This is where tactics come in. So, Sunny selects 5 possible tactics to make his strategy come alive. He could cycle to work, buy a sweatbox, take the dog for an extra walk, join a fitness club, or run in the forest. To decide the best tactics, Sunny uses the impact versus cost model to determine the resources needed versus expected results. The fitness centre is highly effective, but is expensive. Cycling to work would be cost efficient, but since he lives in Copenhagen, it could get pretty cold in the winter. The sweatbox is expensive and highly ineffective, but hey, it's pleasant. Running is inexpensive and only requires an investment in running shoes. An extra dog walk doesn't cost anything, although it's not highly effective. In the end, Sunny chooses the run in the forest and the extra dog walk. To make sure it all happens, he creates an action plan, which is specific, timed, and agreed. The final step is to see if Sunny got there. This means following up on goals and implementation of actions. Sunny's goal was to lose 10 kilograms. Following up on that will help him evaluate if the strategy and tactics are working. Sunny's chosen actions were to go running and take the dog for an extra walk. Following up on the implementation of these actions ensures that he's actually doing what is necessary to achieve his goals. So, to summarise. First of all, you define your key issue, which you translate into objectives. You then decide your goals and create a strategy with tactics and actions to reach these goals. Finally, you follow up on your goals and actions to ensure that you're on track. Depending on the outcome of this, you can start the whole process again. Strategy made simple.